Yesterday I was going to make a coyote, or to show you how I was doing a coyote gold inlay, but my software was not very cooperative, so I did not do it. But here is a result. And this stuff here is not actually, what is that here? Hold on. I think I did scratch it. No, maybe it was just some dirt. No, I did scratch it. Sorry about that. Let me see. Oh. It's my fault. I should have put some tape on the top. Of course, it's better now than later, but I don't like to have to do that. Especially I don't know what it is. Try again. Ah, it's better. Anyway, so here it is. It's a little easier to see that way, isn't it? Now I'm going to put some tape on the top of it to make sure that I don't do the same stupid thing again. And I can start on my Woodchuck. I think it's a very amusing name. It looks like a cartoon, or it sounds like a cartoon to me. Click that up. I put some tape to protect it, and that I can turn it over and do my other beast without scratching that one. So, oh yeah, I did scratch that side too. That's where I'm going to put my woodchuck. Hi Chris, how you doing? I don't know if you can hear me. Anyway, you cannot see it, but I can. Because I can see in the dark, of course. Hold on, let me try to do something so you may be able to see it too. No, it's still not very clear. Let's try with some of that stuff. Oh yeah, you can see it a little. Today I'm going to do the, what do you call that thing? I'm going to empty the space to put my gold. And if I get some time, I will start to do the undercutting. And if I don't, I won't. So what did I do about my software which did not want to work? You know, they update software every so often, and they have not been working very well for some time. But this time it completely stopped working, which was very frustrating. And that's one of the reasons I stopped making video for some time. And then I thought about it, and I figured that it used to work. So I had to find out why it stopped working altogether. I use OBS software, which I kind of like actually. And that's one of the only software which is actually working with my camera. Because I got an OBS camera. Sorry, I got, what do you call that? MP3, no, USB camera. I use USB camera because I like the format. The thing is almost square instead to be very elongated. And when it's very elongated, basically I lost focus on the space I am engraving on the camera, and I don't really want to have to recenter the thing all the time. It's inconvenient. So I prefer something which is almost square, like what I have now. And I decide to find an older version of OBS, which is what I did, and going back in time long enough, I did find something which was working, and that's what I'm using today. I hope it's not going to fail me, but if it does, I really apologize, but there's only so much I can do. I'm not supposed to do a background on this thing, but I think I will anyway, because it looks weird to have my little beast standing like that. I think I will do some sort of mountain or stuff like that, to show that he's not just in the air. I should mention that it's the first time I engrave a woodchuck, and I think it's a very cute little animal. It's also the first time I engrave one of these Dakota single shot. I really like that gun. I think it's very it's a very neat gun, and I like it better than the Ruger #1 because it's a much smaller action. Of course, it's not at all the same price. Our #1 is so much cheaper. I mean, I should not say cheaper, I should say less expensive. And the #1 is a great gun. But I like the proportion of the Dakota single shot more. Anyway, didn't realize it was going to be so dark, and there's nothing I can do about that. I'm going to start an audiobook. Hold on. Give me a minute. Just have to start it. I like zombie audiobook. Oh, what is that thing? Of course it's not there anymore. How comes it, I guess? Ah, did find it.
She nods. Yeah, through the bedroom. But watch your step, there's a drop. I shot my mom. Holy shit, I shot my mom. What do you mean, watch my step? You're coming with me. The growling outside grows louder. The gunshot drew them, damn it. There are only a few slivers of light between their dark shadows crowding the window. I can't, she says. More slabs. These against the glass.
Okay.
Yes, you can. You have to. What other choice do you have? Stay here and die? What other choice do I have out there? She yells back at me. I'll die out there. So will you. And your fiancée? She's probably already dead. Like my mom. Like my fucking mom. The glass blows inward in a spray of shards. I grab her by the arm. She shrugs me off. I'll come. But you have to give me a minute. Her voice is oddly calm amidst all the chaos. Pale winds push through the rest of the window, peeling around the wall with gnarled, thick-looking hands. A pool of blood has steadily taken over the entire small kitchen floor. A face shows itself through the thin veil of curtains.
The trick
It's the face
is
of a
to
middle-aged man. He wears a trucker's cap on his head.
make it
A
deep
ratty
enough.
black goatee on his face
Oh,
stained with
sorry.
bits of gray and red.
Ah.
He's got the wild, infected look in his eyes. More of those eyes glow behind him and to each of his sides. Just give me a minute, Ivy repeats. But we both know we don't have a minute. She bends down anyway. A hand reaches out to touch her mother's. I'm so sorry, she says in a hoarse whisper. I'm so sorry for never being there. The sound of busting hinges cuts her off. They haven't learned how to work a doorknob, but they know anything will budge with enough force. Abby raises her voice as if to shout over it. As if the louder she speaks, the less likely any of this is happening. I wasn't the best daughter. I never listened. I always complained. Broke the rules. Abby. The door falls onto the small section of shag carpet with muffled grace. But the dead push in. I grab the gun from Abby, but I don't fire it at the first one who's broken through.
I was going
Instead,
to
I
say
raise the rifle up like a club
you have
and
to
swing
find
down
an
on the man with
happy
the trucker cap.
balance
There's a loud crack as his
between
skull
death
caves in and brains ooze out.
and
Back barks with pain.
no, sorry, between
I gave the blow everything I had.
being deep enough
There's no
and not
way I
being
could do
so
that
deep
again.
that you have to
20
put
more.
a tremendous amount of gold.
Plus, I need to conserve ammo to get to Darlene.
Because
Abby,
gold is
now.
expensive.
I grab her fringed rec center employee shirt. I love you, Mom, she wheezes as I yank her up. A
Hello.
claw-like hand swings at her, missing by inches. The person who it belongs to, a girl
How
with
is Steve
blonde hair
doing?
greased in
Been a
blood,
long time I heard from him.
calls down on Abby's mother with a wet splat. But her eyes never see the dead woman she landed on. No, they just focus on us. We turn through a small doorway. Beads hang down from the frame, creating a very distorted picture of Jesus. I plunge in. There's a small bed in one corner without a sheet, a nightstand next to it. An ashtray overflowing with cigarette butts sits atop a Bible. The door I see looks like a closet.
Oh, Craig.
But I feel the warmth
He was the
outside
one
blowing through the cracks, and I open it.
who was
Abby is
working,
too lost to help me.
drawing
She looks around the room with nostalgia-tinted lenses,
on a medical book.
leave all of this behind.
Were
The
you?
door opens up to a ball of patch of dirt. There is another trailer across from us that looks almost exactly the same as Abby's, except for the Christmas wreath in the door. Don't they know Christmas isn't for another 5 months? My guess is, yeah, they probably do. And if I went in there, the tree would be up in the corner of their tiny living room like it's been since 1985. Shadows shuffle around inside.
Ah, you see, I got such a great memory.
I have Abby's forearm in my left hand, the gun in the other. I'm dragging her around like a tired dog through the park. She's sniffling, not all here, but her legs still move.
As you can see, I'm still
That's all I
engraving,
can ask for.
and I'm not
I
dead
press
yet.
my shoulder to the side of the trailer. A puff of rust escapes the space between two metal sheets. Even in this heat, I can feel the coldness through my shirt. I peek around the corner. There are two ambling corpses not smart enough to follow the others
No, it's not a
inside.
practice plate. I
We
don't
shouldn't have a problem getting past them.
do practice
I turn
plate.
to Abby. Hey, I whisper.
I
I need you right now, okay? I need you to be brave and smart.
feel confident enough not to have to practice much,
Like she's just woken up.
unless I do something
Abby,
new.
I say again.
But that's not something new. I mean, the animal is new, but
We are going to make a run for the van.
the technique
It's
is
not
not.
safe. So if you are too slow and you stumble and fall, I might not be able to come back and save
As I
you.
was saying, I mean, actually,
I sigh.
did I say?
Abby, you did
Yeah, I
good.
think I was saying it's one of the
You
little
did
Dakota
what you should have
single
done.
shot,
That wasn't your mother. As if
and I
you
think
bring
it's a
up
very
dead mom's
neat little
kick to the
gun.
head. Abby's
It's
eyes lose their glazed look.
Really expensive.
I'll be okay, Jack. Let's go, she
But
says.
if you have money, might as well use it.
Abby is strong. Stronger than me. I give her the gun. We turn and run to the vehicle. I get my hand on the door handle right when I hear the crack of skulls. Two quick thumps, then two bodies hit the ground. Abby is in before me.
Yes,
Blood speckles her forehead, and
it
her face
looked,
is red.
I mean, actually, you cannot see it even if I do that,
rifle
but
between the two front seats. She gives me a
I mean,
nod.
microscopes are not really made to
I
show
knew them too.
the whole thing, especially the way
They
I
used to
do it.
babysit me when I was younger. My lips part to say something comforting, but she doesn't.
But trust me, it's one of the little, I think it's 22.
I didn't like them much. Always put me to bed before 9.
I think usually they are 22, but I'm not sure.
Get the hell out of the
Because
trailer.
the Ruger #1 can be almost any caliber.
32.
I don't know if
The
it's the same
gunshot that
thing
killed Abby's mother did more than just attract a few of them.
with the Beretta.
As I drive up the bumpy
Sorry,
dirt
with
road leading us onto the
Dakota.
hill, I swerve back and forth like a drunk, trying to avoid the zombies. Their hands reach out to us, eyes lighting up as if the greatest meal they'll ever have is locked behind the metal walls of the van. The closer we get, the more there are. I hit one, hearing its pain snarls and coins jingling in the cup holder to my right. As the body rolls under the back left tire,
Hello, Pigeon. How you doing?
another throws itself at the front of the van. I'm not driving fast either. 15 miles per hour. There is no windshield to block us from the dead. So as I hit the bastard, I hope he doesn't roll up over the hood and end up being another passenger. He doesn't. Instead, he's lost under the tires like his friend. The hill isn't as thick with the dead as the road which leads to the dim light villages.
Ah,
I turn right, so I'm looking down at the gradual decline into the town square. people laughing, dancing, having a good time.
Oh.
But I'm not. What I am looking at is a graveyard, a wasteland. Jack, Abby says. Her voice is weak and shaky. Jack, look at that. Yeah, I say. So what? She inhales deeply. This girl is younger than me by almost a decade, and somehow she makes me feel like I'm a kid again, who's getting yelled at for not doing their homework.
I like very tight
Oh,
shotgun
Jupiter.
or
What
rifle,
we're going
but
to do with
I
you.
don't engrave them,
You
they are
won't get
just too
anywhere in
hard.
life if you never do your
So
schoolwork.
little like
Blah,
Ruger,
blah,
they are
blah.
very, very hard. The number one is the only one I
She
engrave.
reminds me of a sister
I
I
tried
never
to
had.
engrave,
A sister, younger or
what did
older,
I try to engrave? A little
who'd
22
always been
pistol.
there to be the level-headed
I
one.
mean, it was
That much I
nightmare.
always knew, especially when you grow up
And the
with Norman
Beretta,
Jupiter as your
all
big
of them
brother.
seem to be too hard.
Norman, who would have said,
So
"Hey, Jack, go
I
stick your head in that bulldog's mouth.
don't
What's
engrave
the
them.
worst that could happen?"
It's too bad because I like the double air.
Part of me hopes he is all right, while
But
another
it's
part of
too
me
much
thinks
work
it's
trying
perfectly
to do
normal
it.
for the world to seemingly end while he's back in town. What other
And
way
the
could it?
stuff is so hard, I don't find the
We
result very
aren't going to survive in
satisfying.
that, Abby says. Saving Darlene is a
But it's very
suicide
easy
mission.
to cut.
She's right, but I'm willing to commit suicide. In the faint red glow of the taillights, a few zombies shamble toward the car. I'm not worried. They move about as fast as turtles. One of them is even crawling, their legs now broken and worthless. We have time. Time to figure this out. Then we split up, I say. Go our separate ways. Abby's features seem to melt off her face. She's a blank slate. Her lips settle to a thin line. No, she says. You didn't leave me. I'm not going to leave you. Her answer makes me feel a little better. I know I can't do this alone. I smile. Then we fight our way to the motel. I just wish I knew this wasn't for nothing. I wish I knew she was... She stops mid-sentence and turns her head to look out the broken windshield. Her mouth drops open. What? I say. What? This time a little more frantic. Her shaky hand raises to point ahead. I follow her index finger, and what I see fills my heart with hope. Just as the first corpse reaches the tail end of the van, thumping it with rage, I throw the
Oh yeah,
gear shift to
they
drive
are a nightmare.
and roll down the hill.
I basically refuse to engrave them anymore.
The sign, which reads Woodhaven Motel,
I
glows
tried
red.
to anneal one once.
It's meant to catch the eye of weary truckers.
I
who
really
drive
don't
down
like to do
76
that
with a
because
deep longing for a bed
then
and a hot
I
shower.
got a huge liability.
The next rest stop isn't for another couple hours down the interstate.
Actually, I think I did ask my
There used to
client
be
to
one
do
a
it
few miles
himself.
from Woodhaven.
Hello,
It's
Star.
long
How
since
you
it turned
doing?
into a junkie shoot-up gallery. The truckers who routinely pass the town on their way to wherever it is they are
So
going
if they anneal
know
it,
their best
or
bet
if they
for a
have someone
decent
annealing it,
good night's sleep is the
it
Woodhaven
seems to be my
Motel.
responsibility, but
Being totally
I don't
fair,
feel good about
the
that.
best bet for a midnight romp with Trixie or Delilah.
So I don't do it at all.
This sign meant to catch attention has been glowing steadily since
My
Abby and
favorite
I
one
parked
is
at
really
the
the
top of
Browning. Browning stuff are really
But now,
soft.
it flickers.
I mean, if you engrave
Not
all
just
the
shiny
Holland or
electricity
Faraday, they are
flickering.
very
No,
soft too.
this is all out Morse code flickering. Someone
But
is
you don't
there,
have that many.
and someone saw our headlights in the darkness,
I think
and
I
now
need to
they're
do a
trying to
little more
catch
now.
our attention. My foot is on the brakes as we coast down the hill. I hit a roadblock going about 20 miles per hour and turn it into splinters of plastic. Orange and white dance off of the hood of the car. Abby muffles a scream.
I am
Shielding
fine.
her face. Me?
I've
I'll
been
just take it. Johnny
working
Deadslayer wouldn't flinch.
and doing
The
stuff.
smooth pavement of the roads is no longer beneath us. Now the tires roll over the downed, mutilated bodies of the festival goers. Each rotation
As I was
with the
saying,
noise of boots
I
stopped in that
stopped
mud.
making video because I was just too
Sludge, sludge.
frustrated with the software, which
But
was
I
not
hardly hear it.
working the way I
Mud
wanted,
sprays up in front and behind us.
and I didn't want to
Any
spend
other
the time
time,
trying to
I'd be
find
vomiting
out
out the driver's side window, I'm sure.
what was wrong
All
with
I
it.
can think about is Darlene. Her eyes glowing in the dark like a cat's. Her hair
Until
so
I did get
soft,
more
always
frustrated
smelling of cherries, of life,
with not being
not
able
of
to do what I
puking
want.
death all around us. She has to be alive.
So
Don't tell me I'm getting showered in zombie blood for nothing. Life can't be that unfair.
I did find a way
I am in
to
a
make it
daydream,
work.
dimly aware of Abby's shouts. To me, they sound like
Sometimes the
whispers. Jack!
older version of the software
Shatters my longing for Darlene like a sledgehammer
is
shatters
actually
glass.
working
I
better,
turn to look at her, and she's pointing again.
at
But
least
this
for
time
me.
not at the sign. She's pointing at the parade float in front of us. 2 tires on the sidewalk, 2 tires on the road. I didn't even see it. Had I been paying attention to the best of my ability, I don't think I would have seen it anyway. It's one of those terrible paper mache jobs the high school art club throws together after classes got for the day. I know this because it's a big brown woodchuck with a football in its hand. Good old Woodhaven woodchucks. I remember seeing the art nerds back when I was in high school. But let's be honest, I wasn't cool enough to hang with them. This float is sort of a tradition. I cut the wheel at the last moment, feeling the tires slip out from my control. The road's too thick with blood and guts. The van is too beaten up. Abby's screams pierce my eardrums, somehow louder than the sound of the squealing tires. The van careens off of the road, jumps the curb with a loud thud, followed by a pop that can't be anything but a blown tire.
No, it's actually a flat chisel. It looked like that.
I'm no longer in control. The car rolls.
I cut with
We swirl
something
around
like this,
rag dolls,
which is a
only
diamond
restrained by
shape
the
like
loose
that.
seatbelts cutting across our chests and hips.
Actually, you may not be
I
able
take
to
the
see
screaming
it.
too, but I can't
Look
hear it
like
over the
this
sounds of
when I do the
crunching metal
cutting.
and chaos.
And
The
side
airbag
look
blows
like
out of the
that.
steering wheel, punching me in the
But when I
face
do
harder
the
than
background,
Freddy Krueger's ever punched
when
me.
I remove the background, I use
Blood
a flat
spurts from my
chisel
nose. It trickles down my lips and into my
because I
mouth,
find it easier.
tasting faintly
And
metallic.
actually,
Then, all is
it gives
quiet
me
except for a warbled
better
drone on the
surface.
dashboard. Faint smell of fire
when I undercut it.
I feel like passing out, but the smell brings me back to attention. I see an arm next to me. A stream of blood flows down it like rain down a window pane. Oh, I say, my head. My voice sounds so weak that I think I'm dead. Maybe I'm a ghost. Maybe this is the afterlife. Your head, Abby says with a tang of sarcasm. What about my head?
Okay.
I look up, and there's a gash on Abby's forehead like a lightning bolt.
I have some
Blood rolls
stuff
from
of
it.
different
It
size.
doesn't drop down her cheeks. It falls upward, where her hair is splayed out in suspended
Try
mesh.
to
That's when I realize what has happened.
have a flat surface to work with.
You okay? I ask, trying to sound manly, trying to sound in control.
Because if I got something
This is all my fault. Her answer comes in the form of a clicking seatbelt.
flat,
Then the thud of
I'm
her
less
body hitting
likely
the
to
ceiling
have
of the van.
some metal sticking out of the background when I put my inlay and polish it.
Well, okay then, I say under my breath. Jack, hurry up, Abby says. They're coming. I already figured that, but I chose to keep my mouth shut. The van's on fire, she finishes. Oh, fuck. My fingers start moving faster. Never in my life have they felt so much like sausages. Finally, I find the red button which releases me from this metal prison and drop to the ceiling. Do you see the guns? Abby yells. I stop, take a look over my shoulder and scan the interior as quick as I can.
Okay.
There's not much left of anything in the van. Mostly just dented metal and ripped upholstery. It's like
Yeah,
looking inside a
26
garbage
years ago,
disposal.
my God.
No, I shout back.
You know, 26 years ago I was 26 years younger, and you were too.
Then you are in a parking lot. It takes me a moment
It's
to
terrible,
realize
isn't
that.
it?
Then a moment longer to realize what
I thought I
parking
would
lot
never
we're
get
in.
to be that
And
old.
then another moment to realize the army of the dead with their glowing yellow eyes are practically licking their lips as they lumber toward us. The lit sign to my right reads Eddie's Drug Mart, a family-owned drugstore.
Okay, now I'm
Which is
going
a lot
to
like a more expensive
make
Rite Aid.
some channel. And I do it that way
Goes up around the sign.
because
Comes from the overturned
I want to
bed,
make sure that
Abby still has a hold of my arm as I get off the pavement.
I go deep enough.
There are no cars in the parking lot aside from the one I stole.
And if I make them side by side like
Managed
this,
to knock over a small
I won't
lemonade
see it
stand
very well.
with a sign that
But
reads,
if I do it
"Support
like
the local Girl
what I do
Scouts.
now,
Buy fresh squeezed lemonade, only 25
I see
cents a
that
cup." Sorry, Girl Scouts.
there is a whole wall on both sides. You see, there is a wall here and there is a wall there. So I know that I am underneath
I can't help
the
but
surface
think how
of
much they
the
resemble Hamburger Helper. Abby grips me tighter and
of the
pulls.
gun, of the
Come
side.
on, through here.
So I'm going to do
They're
it
running. Well, she's
that
running.
way.
Try to do something that mimics running, but my ribs are definitely broken.
Because if you don't do it that way, you got tendency to
She
go
pulls me toward Eddie's front entrance, which is going to be locked. I just know it.
not deep enough.
If I
And at
recall
some
correctly,
point,
Eddie was an old man last time I was
your
there.
cut,
Always
flat cut,
complaining about those damn
is
high
very
school kids
shallow.
coming in and stealing my candy and soda pops. If
and
Everson's
it gets
still
to be so
alive,
shallow
then
that
Eddie certainly is.
after you do the
There's
undercutting
no way he would have
and
left
do
it
the gold
unlocked
inlay
during the town's biggest celebration either.
and polish
Abby
it,
pushes it, and what do you know?
you got
It's
some
locked.
piece of metal
She doesn't let that slow
sticking
her
out of your gold,
She picks up a rock from beneath a flower bed.
which is less undesirable, especially when the gun is going to be blue.
Sending large chunks to her feet. With her other hand,
So when I do it that way,
the opening and clicks the lock. At first glance, you
I'm
think
sure that
Abby has done her fair share of breaking
each
and
cut
entering. The motel, I say, feeling not only pain
is
but ribs,
underneath the surface.
heart, as I slowly realize the chances of us surviving this dip to zero with each
And you can even
zombie
hear it.
step coming
See
from
if I
behind us.
go deep
Each
enough,
gets to the motel. She ignores me and throws the door
it makes
open.
a certain sound, but if I go
Above her
more
are bell
shallow,
chimes,
like this,
signaling her
oh
entry.
sorry,
Something tells
like that.
me Mr. Eddie won't be there to eye her suspiciously from behind.
it doesn't make the same sound.
Abby, look behind
That
you.
one is much
She says.
shallower than this one
You
here.
do. The burning van is attracting
See, the deeper I go,
whole fucking town. Skin
the
hangs
deeper
in
the
their faces.
sound.
Blood stains their clothes. They sway like drunks.
Trust me.
Some of them have spotted Abby and me. They don't care.
Don't you
for
hate when
hunger.
people tell you
They
that?
only care about the food. I will fight every last one of them to get to Darlene. I am so close I can smell her cherry-scented hair. I see the Girl Scouts who were there to sell lemonade. Their faces are ashy, but for the most part, clean.
Hey Craig, you should give me a call.
They were reanimated corpses that you didn't see their guts hanging from their stomachs, trailing up behind them like wedding gowns they'll never get to wear.
I'm sure you remember my phone number.
Beyond this group, there are more.
And if you don't, it's
Dare I say
434
the whole county? They bump shoulder to shoulder,
979
dripping with
3647.
death, looking like a horror movie's worst nightmare. And that's saying something coming from a man who makes a living running this crap. Two of them are about 3 feet closer than I'm comfortable with. It's a man and woman, and something about the way they walk together tells me they were once married before all this went down. So does the matching American flag shirts. If they decided to walk a little faster and maybe lunch, they would have one large helping of Jack Jupiter for dinner this evening. I'm not offering, so I follow Abby into the drugstore.
And you see, when I do it that way
They'll
too,
break through the glass eventually.
when I finish
And I
here,
don't know how much time you're going to need.
if my thing is too
Once the fire
shallow,
burns out
look,
or the van explodes, they'll be knocking on the door. Inside, the store
you can
hasn't
see a
changed
step
at
here.
all. There are
And
rows
if
of
it's
small
deep
shelves
enough,
containing all sorts of bare essentials. Toothpaste, toothbrushes, bread, peanut butter, soap, hairspray, brushes, milk, and cold drinks on the far side. But closest
there's
to us
basically
is a
no step
magazine rack
between this cut
full
which
of
I made and
Time,
this one
Life,
which
Cosmopolitan, Us
I made
Weekly,
earlier.
those weird tabloid magazines, which today read, "Is the President an Alien?" Page 3. Next to a picture of a man in a suit and tie with the face of some kind of blue reptile, which is obviously fake. Abby and I grab the magazine rack and slide it across the tile floor. It makes a ferocious squeaking sound that has me wanting to scrape up my eardrums with a fork, and an even more ferocious burst of pain in my arms and ribs. Other than that, it works. "They'll push it over," Abby says, "if enough of them come this way. But it'll hold while we regroup." I nod, hoping she's right. I've been trapped enough today. The couple bang on the door, rattling its hinges. The fire must be more
I try to make
entertaining
my
because
cut
after a minute the
parallel
banging
to,
stops, I hear them scuffle away.
because like that when I will remove that
You look like you've just been in the car. Well,
edge between the two cuts.
that was my fault. I didn't even see the float there.
I
"I'm
will have
okay,"
something
Abby
which
says,
is
walking over to the aisle
more
where the dish
neat.
towels are. She throws me one, then starts wiping away the already drying blood from her forehead. "I think there's some peroxide right down there," I say, pointing. "It's been a while since I've been in here."
I can show you
The
actually,
door, which
hold
is
on.
almost completely covered by the magazine display, only offering a little slice of the parking lot and surrounding street. Through that slice, the outside looks and sounds like the world is ending. "Not much has changed,"
Okay.
Abby says.
That one
"Still
I'm
think
going to
there's
use
that
is a
Coke
little
machine behind the
larger.
counter. You know, the one that only costs
It
a dime
doesn't
and
fit
gives
here,
you the glass bottles,
which is what I want.
then turns back to the peroxide." "I'll go look," I say. The
Because
front
if I
counter
have
is a relic
a
of the
larger
1950s.
chisel
It's made of old wood and there's a
and
window
I
built in the front of it. She'll
hit
just
it with the same
back
force with my
cigarettes.
hammer,
The register is a dinosaur.
of course I will not go
One
as
where you
deep.
punch in the price of the item instead of scanning a barcode. It's both cool and unsettling to see.
So if I got that
Sure
one,
enough,
which is a little larger,
it's there, also prehistoric.
hopefully
But man, I'm thirsty, and nothing tastes better than a cold Coca-Cola when you're
I can
thirsty.
just that
As I walk around the counter, I say to Abby in a raised whisper, "I can't believe
piece
Darlene
of
is
metal
alright.
which is sticking out.
She might not be
Actually I
dead.
should do it the other way
Don't
around,
get your
but
hopes up too much." Her words are like bullets to my heart. She's right. It might not even be Darlene. Might be some other survivors waiting for their guardian angels to show them the way to safety. Abby must realize her bluntness because she says, "But if it is Darlene, which it very well could be, then she's safe for the moment. It's us I'm worried about." I find the dime and the leave a penny cake penny tray, and I put it in the Coke machine. The gears or whatever inside the machine whir, and an ice-cold glass bottle of Coca-Cola fills my hand. I pop the top of the machine's built-in bottle opener. "I'm sure there are a lot of people trapped, waiting for this thing to blow over," Abby continues. "And those are the ones who are smart enough to not try to take these things on. Zombies," I say. No need to be coy about it. George A. Romero hit it right on the head. I'm looking at a display behind the counter. It's shrouded in darkness.
if I have to choose, I prefer to be too deep than too shallow.
A cardboard Uncle Sam points at me with a speech bubble coming from his mouth. It says, "Uncle Sam wants me to celebrate the
If I
4th
am
of
too
July
deep,
with fantastic phantom
I just
fireworks."
use a little more gold.
"Whatever. The only problem," Abby says,
If I am too shallow,
"is that we aren't
far
smart
more
enough to just pull up
problematic.
until help arrives. And I'm okay with that. I don't want to end up like my mother. I want to get the hell out of this town. We just need a distraction less dangerous than a burning van." "Distraction," I say. reaching out and grabbing a thick red rocket. I think I found our distraction. Huh? She says. She comes up the aisle to where I'm standing. Fireworks, I say. I turn to her and see her looking at me with an arched eyebrow. For a moment, I feel like my older brother, who is obsessed with fire and explosives like the rest of the kids we grew up with in our neighborhood. Fireworks? Really? It's not much. Nothing like what the town has stored up for tonight. But it'll distract them enough for us to get a clear shot to the motel. This, I'm sure of. We need guns and knives, Jack. Weapons. Abby shakes her head. There's gotta be a way out the back. And I know there's an old ladder that goes up to the roof, I say, grabbing a few of the bottle rockets in one hand and a fistful of Roman candles in the other. Not the roof again. Jack, don't you ever learn? Grab me a lighter. She frowns. Will you just trust me for once? I say, a smile on my face. 34. Through the back door marked employees only is an array of shelves. On them sit boxes of the stuff that is sold in the front. There's a small table and 2 chairs.
And when you do the undercutting,
and cards near one
it's going to help even out
also a door.
the background
It is a looming metal door
to
with
some
green paint that is now
extent.
peeling and
That's what
scratched in places. Claw marks from a dog Mr. Eddie must have kept back here for the thieving high school kids. In the door is a small window. The window is fogged over, but I see the brick building on the other
I
side.
use 24 karat gold.
The bricks
I think
belong to the family practitioner.
that idea that people save money by using 22 karat is kind of ridiculous, because the difference in price is not
I only know those
that much,
because every
and on
time my mom
22
tried to
karat
bring
gold
me
they
here for my
use
routine
nickel,
checkup,
which is really hard, so you may save a few bucks in gold, but you spend twice as long to inlay it.
and go running down the alley. In 10 years,
So
I really doubt much has
there
changed,
is no saving.
especially the ladder that runs up the side of Eddie's drugstore.
And if you use
We should ever
green
choose.
gold is different because they don't use nickel, they use silver.
I stop at the door,
And
standing
18
on my
karat
tiptoes to get a better view through the foggy glass.
green gold is
Later,
actually
I say.
pretty soft.
Abby hands me a cheap plastic bic which I pocket.
So it's not like, and you don't have the choice, because if you want green gold you have to use that. But if you are going to use, if you want something yellow, there is no saving by using 22 karat gold. I mean, you save a few bucks on the gold, but you spend so much time on the work that it hardly makes any sense.
If there's nothing out there, we try to sneak to the motel with no weapons, Abby says, frown on her face.
Fact is that even on a big inlay like this one, the amount of gold,
She pinches the bridge of her
or the
nose,
cost of gold is
stalks off back out to the front of the store.
fairly negligible.
Comes back with 2 broom handles, the bristles attached. Unlike the late Ryan broom handle, these aren't sharpened. Here, he says. It's not much, but it's better than fireworks.
See, I may use, I don't
I
know,
narrow my eyes at her.
$300 or $500 worth
No,
of gold on
she says.
that. Both sides, I
Door
mean.
open. The air is hot and stuffy.
If I was using 24 karat, 22 karat, I may save $25.
The smell of garbage pummels my nostrils. But as I look to the metal cans to the right of the
But
back
I
door,
will tremendously increase the amount I charge for the work.
slow ice smell is death, and it hangs all around
Not
us.
because I'm greedy, but because it will take me
Here's our moans,
maybe an extra 30% time
moans,
to do the inlay.
scuffle of dead feet over the pavement. I try not to picture 2 of those feet belonging to Darlene. I point to the left where the ladder is. Even in the faint glow of the moonlight, I can see the specks of orange rust on the metal. We walk,
It's like when you want something white,
and it takes me a second to register why she has.
I never use white gold.
Or pass by the entrance to the alleyway.
The white gold is too hard.
Not looking
I prefer to use silver or platinum.
So close, so determined. Like a pack of wild
Platinum is
animals
not very
roaming the street
convenient
for meat.
because you cannot
Almost
see it
stops
very
my
well
heart in my chest.
once it's polished.
I don't know.
The metal, the base metal, the steel,
and the lid falls and clangs off the concrete.
and the platinum about the
Sounds
same
like a
color.
truck smashing into a gong in the stillness of the night. I try to turn to steady it,
Silver
to
is
stop the vibrations,
whiter.
but that only makes it worse. The car accident has stripped me of whatever little grace and balance I had before.
The advantage of platinum
Grab the can. I only knock it into the other.
is that it's much
and send it
harder than
rolling
silver,
down the alley. It could probably be
so
heard.
it doesn't wear as much.
It's not loud. Abby looks at me, her face drained of all color. Shit, she says under her breath.
So I kind of like to inlay with
The
platinum.
horse stops. In one motion, they all turn their infected gazes toward us.
You know, the problem with
Their
platinum,
mouths are open,
besides the
letting
color,
out deep groans, hungry groans.
is the
Go,
fact that it
go,
works
I
hard
say.
and
The
A
adrenaline
lot.
coursing through my veins is not enough to vanquish the impending doom hanging over us. We can get to the ladder and climb
So-
it if we hustle. But my arms and legs are
it's even more tricky when to
and they're not
inlay.
as fast as they used to be.
Actually, the way I do it, because I don't really heat the stuff, I just press it.
We are
And
gonna
when you
make it.
press it, it doesn't work hard and as much as if you hit it. But I mean that if you hammer this platinum, it's going to work hard and very
Just as
fast.
I reach out to grip the flaky rung of the
But
ladder,
if you press
a
it,
dead hand snags my arm.
like I do,
It belongs to a woman of about 40,
it doesn't seem to be hardening so much,
whose mouth hangs
so
wide
it's
open.
not too difficult to inlay that
Blood
way.
pours from her moving lips. I rip my arm away from
But
her,
since most people
and acting on full instinct,
use
kick out with my leg.
their
A burst of white hot pain
Pneumatic.
ripples through my bones,
tool,
but it sends the group stumbling back. I have enough room to climb up
they
the ladder,
increase their
and
work
boy,
hardening
do I climb
of
fast.
the metal.
Hey, Abby shouts. She's trying to
So as a
distract
safety
me.
measure, they inlay
I see her in the doorway
something
of the
which is
drugstore,
much thicker,
one hand wrapped tightly around its handle. The
and
horde
they
couldn't
spend a lot
care
of
less
money
about it. She's too far away.
on their gold or platinum or silver or whatever.
Stay put, I shout. I'll find a way. But really,
People don't seem to understand that the thicker the material,
flakes of orange and black drip from the rungs
the
from
more
every hurting
difficult
step.
it is to inlay,
Most of the fireworks haven't fallen from
because
the
you
grip,
don't control it as well,
to be stopped by the dead.
and the way you exercise the pressure
Breathing hard. Then I take a look down to the alley. About 30 of the
is
dead
very
are
different.
grouped there, their hands up to the sky, gnarled fingers opening and closing as they hope for me to
Not
drop.
of course,
Not gonna happen.
people get their own little habit.
Touch the surface of the roof now. For the moment, I am safe, but I am that much farther from reuniting with Darlene. I turn around to look at where I'm at, to see if the roof has changed much since I was
See
a
here, I
scared
got a step.
8-year-old who didn't want to
See
get
there?
his shots. It hasn't
Can
beside
really
the
see
concrete
it.
boxes with their fans slowly whirring
Nope.
inside of them.
I know that I'm too shallow.
Eddie or his descendants finally sprung for some central heating and cooling. The roof seems to stretch for almost a full block, but I think I'm just suffering from shock.
You know, my step is
The
gone.
parapet comes up to the middle of my thighs.
Oh, I got one
Not
here
safe
too.
if I happen to pass out, but if I sit down with my back to the brick, I'll be okay. I just need to catch my breath, need to regroup. I crawl away from the ladder. The cool bricks chill my sweaty back through my shirt. I lost
And I
most
was
of the
saying, I
fireworks.
prefer to be a little
All that's
too
left is
deep
a tube of Roman candles and the Bic Abby gave me.
than
There
too
aren't
shallow.
enough fireballs in it to take out 30 of the bastards.
And
And there's no army helicopter.
I'm very
signal.
confident that
Fireworks. Yeah, pretty useless plan, I guess.
I am deep enough anyway.
I look over the edge to where the motel sign stands high in the dark, but a football field with a sea of flesh-eating monsters away. It still glows, but no longer flickers. years. None of the rooms have their lights on. Not even the room Darlene and I stayed in. This hurts to think about. Maybe she left. Maybe she's dead. I know she's afraid of the dark. She would have the lights off with monsters everywhere. Then the rational part of my brain kicks in. Of course I know she wouldn't keep the lights on. That would only bring more attention to her. I sigh and turn away, looking down the length of the roof. Something catches my eye. Something so weird that it forces me to stand up. It's two lawn chairs, and they are angled toward the middle of the town square, where the large cache of fireworks would have been set off to signify the end of the festival and another year of independence. People were up here. Probably a dad and a son, or a boyfriend and girlfriend, only wanting to enjoy a show and a night off from the steel mill at the diner. This also hurts to think about because it could have easily been Darlene and me. We might be zombies, but at least we would have been together. As I look more closely, my feet spur me forward on their own accord. The dark stain draws my eyes. I know what it is before I'm close enough to confirm it. It's blood. Blood. Always blood. Whole town is drowning in blood.
Oh yes, you are free
This
to go
blood
barefoot.
is fresh and sticky.
I just don't want to hear complain about it.
I limp toward it,
You know, I used
saying
to,
a soft whisper.
my son,
Barely
both
heard
of them
the
used to
rising
live
moans
with
of the
me,
dead.
of course, when I was married.
Oh no,
And
I see the hair.
that was a forbidden place for them,
Hair that looks just like
because there is too many places or too many ways for them to get
with
hurt.
the fingernails painted.
You know, what I use is pretty sharp,
I stop
and
the face. My heart stopping with me.
it's kind of dangerous.
I don't want to see the face. I don't want to see my fiancée dead.
So
Her features
They
twisted
were
and distorted by disease.
not allowed to come downstairs on their
I
own.
step forward, still far away, not knowing if I can get any closer. It's not
And the
Darlene,
fact is that I don't like
but
to be
it's someone who I do recognize.
distracted
A woman
when
who
I
was once
work.
the most popular girl in high school, the same class as me. Prom queen, homecoming queen, head of the student council. It's Bella Dawson. And 10
So the
years
fact
hasn't
that
really
it
changed
is
her much. Only her
a little dangerous was
throat
giving me a good reason
leaving a jagged
to
red
be left
smile.
alone.
Her eyes are no longer blue. Now they are rolled back, bloodshot whites. Blood stains her
Aw.
fingers and hands from when she probably tried to stop whatever did this to her. I never liked the girl, but it's sad to see her in this state. She was Freddie Huber's girlfriend. I don't know if they were still together. I know he still lives at home. He never got married. He's a mama. The sound stops me dead in my tracks. It's a soft, mushing sound.
It was kind of amusing actually. My older son did come to visit me
It's the sound of a feast.
with his daughter,
As the dead man looks up at me from behind the concrete box.
and he told her the same thing that I was telling him when he was her age.
I nearly pissed my pants. It's Freddie Huber. 35. It's like he recognizes me. The look he gives me is of pure hatred. The others, like the ones from the recreation center and the ones currently trying to figure out how to climb the ladder that leads up here, always look hungry. But Freddie Huber must be full. He doesn't look much different than when I saw him yesterday. He's just a little nicer, wearing a pair of jeans and a button-up shirt now crusted with his old girlfriend's blood and guts. But his hair still stands up in that awful cowlick, and his face is still gaunt from the sickness that eventually turned him into a zombie.
I think
For a second,
I need to do
back in
a
high
little
school,
bit.
back in the locker room after gym class my sophomore year, he stopped me cornered lockers. The road that has no exit at the back like the other rows, only an entrance. Now it's not a locker, just 2 stories, a crowd of the dead, and the hard blacktop keeping me in the clutches of this demented asshole. He lumbers forward, groaning. Run.
Oh yes, he's still shaving all over the place.
Your head is drowning in toilet
There is
water.
gold too on the floor.
Run before
Plenty
he
of it, I
bloodies your
suppose.
nose. No, I say aloud. The sound of that word is like an angel's harp to my ears.
It's kind of funny, you know, about gold because people make such a big deal about it.
Without even thinking, I ripped the lighter out
But
of my
only
pocket.
if you don't have
God, it's still there. And I put the
several
Roman
ounces
candles
of gold.
between my thumb and forefinger.
It's really not worth the effort to try to pick it up.
Cash.
I was thinking about it some time ago,
Saliva dripping from his mouth like a rabid dog.
and I got gold on the floor
Spark of
last week.
flame shoots out from the wick, but a strong wind follows it,
The
blowing
fact
it
is
out
that it would
and
take
in
me so
turn,
long to pick it up
blowing Huber
that
and
it's
Happy
really not
Bella
worth the
Dawson's
effort.
stench full force into my face. I flick the lighter again.
Yeah, it's not
This
working
time.
the way I want.
The wind doesn't blow. This time, the lighter sparks and catches. The wick sizzles, sending sprays of sparks in every direction. Freddy looks at it like a gullible man looks at a hypnotist's watch. Then the wick is gone, vanished into a
Oh
puff of gray
man.
smoke.
Oh pardon.
The smoke wafts into the air, and I feel the charging blast thrum through my fingers, the heat on my face. Just as Freddy snaps from hypnotized back to his primal dead self,
Yeah, I got an Olympus SZ,
fat mouth.
but I did change,
I aim the Roman
how do you
candle
call that
dead
thing?
center.
The eyepiece,
The first fireball
with,
shoots at what seems like 100
something
miles
which
per hour.
much wider,
It's bright
because I
blue
think
with a ball of electricity.
they are a little too narrow.
Bullseye. Second shot.
And I did try to find someone to clean
So
it
was
up,
the
but
third, the fourth.
it was so expensive to have it
An array
cleaned.
of colors
It was
burns
actually
inside
cheaper
of
to
his
buy
mouth.
another one.
Scarlet red, electric blue, dragon green, sunshine yellow.
But I like the Olympus, I think it's a good microscope.
Melts right in front of me, dripping like candle wax. His eyeballs turn to pools of liquid inside of their sunken sockets.
I know that everybody is buying
Fire
Leica
burns
now,
through his cheeks, showing me teeth never properly
and
cared for.
I don't know why people do that. I mean, you know, it's engraving,
This
it's
time
not
the sounds are different.
brain
This
surgery.
time they're pain, perhaps. I know it's just
I think people
imagination, but I think
are
the
funny.
real Freddy, the one that's not a zombie, is still in there, and that Freddy is screaming.
I don't know whether
Drop the
this
Roman candle.
microscope
It goes
is.
off a couple more times, sounding like thunder cracks.
Who is making that?
Freddy chokes on the fire, and I stand up as straight as my broken and beaten body will let me. It's over, I say, as I kick him square in the chest. Fuck you. His arms flail out. The parapet catches him in the back of his knees, and he falls off the roof almost exactly like his father had fallen off the recreation center. But I don't go over with this Huber. The splat of his corpse is both mortifying and equally satisfying. Better than any punch I could have thrown. My own knees are weak. and
Take
I
care,
find
Greg.
myself collapsing.
Speak to you later.
A choked sob escapes the back of my throat.
Thank you for coming,
Soon the moans and shuffles from the horde below me start
or
to
for
fade.
watching.
They are going to him. I have to see it. It takes almost all the strength I have left, but I grab the edge of the low wall and pull myself up.
Oh, I'm sure that the Leica is a great microscope. I mean, I don't,
He is the flame
I
in the
would
center
say,
of the dead
I don't
circle
deny
for
the
just a
quality
second.
of the microscope.
The bright fire's a distraction.
I just don't see the point of spending $2,500 for
The horde splits
to
up.
engrave.
They're back to their aimless lumbering, their unanswered grunts and moans of death.
Take care, enjoy.
They head toward the alley, destroying my
I
only
think it's
escape.
overkill. I mean, it's,
I look to the motel.
I was going to say, it's not,
Re-killing Freddy
I don't
Krueger
question
was
the
just a
quality
small
of the
victory.
microscope.
Winning the battle,
I don't just
not
find
the
that
war.
unnecessary.
I still need to get to Darlene, and I will by any means necessary.
But that's my point of view.
The pain in my body pulses, reminding me I won't be able to jump from roof to roof or swoop down from the heavens and save the day.
You know, it's like
Above me, the white glow of the motel sign seems to
I got
Darlene, I'm a line slices
an
through the
industrial
air,
grinder
cutting me off.
for my
I
carbide,
snap my head to the direction of the sound,
and
where I think it came from.
I pay a fraction of what, and it's actually removing metal very fast. I could spend a humming thing and spend twice as much to have 1/10 of the result. And, you know, I got better thing to do with my money than to spending on useless tool. And spend my time waiting for a very slow tool to do what I want it to be done in 2 minutes. You know, the tools are much cheaper than my time. So, everything being equal, I don't mind spending money on the tool, on the cutting tool, if I can save time on the sharpening.
Most of the group starts to lumber away to the bright lights. They move like a herd of drunken buffalo, but they move nonetheless. Abby, I hiss. She barely hears me over the whistle, whine, and explosion of the fireworks. Come down, she says. Fast.
I mean, obviously that stuff boat was not cheap, and the diamond stone are not cheap either. But as I was saying, they work maybe 5 or 10 times faster.
Step down as fast as I can. About 15 seconds later, I'm on the concrete.
Oh, I mean, if you can get a good price.
The smell of fire.
But you know, the problem I have is that I'm short.
You were right.
And I am working sitting. So, if I got some,
let me do this one.
how would I explain?
I grabbed the rocket with
The distance between my eyepiece and the piece I am actually engraving cannot be too long, because my torso is not long enough.
3 feet from the sidewalk.
If you are engraving with a pneumatic tool, you basically engrave with stuff which are on your knees. So you don't really have the problem. But I don't engrave with stuff which are on my knees. They are a few centimeters above my knees. So the distance between the eyepiece and the piece I engrave cannot be too long. I can play a little with how do they call that piece?
I don't aim for any of these as I strike the lighter.
How do they call that stuff?
Aim for a telephone call.
You know, to reduce the
Shape with a capital T behind these gardens. On each side of the wood are 2 rusty
enlargement.
transformers connected to a bunch of wires.
And actually I don't use the 0.5.
The concept called domino effect.
I use 0.65. So I got a little less reduction on enlargement, but I got a little less distance between my eyepiece and the piece I am actually engraving. I don't know if it makes any sense, but I'm 5'7", so that's a difficulty for me. If I was 6 something, I think it would work well, but being short is inconvenient from that point of view.
That's not the case. Darlene would stay put if she's okay. And I know there are no survivors in Woodhaven, especially not in the square. Everyone but Abby and I are gone. A harsh realization. The truth. The town is dead.
No, I think
final nail in its casket. The rocket explodes forward, its whistle muted by my own destructive thoughts.
people will spend way too much
We are
time buying
showered
tools.
in an array of sparks from its back
Sorry,
end.
not too much time buying tools, too
The
much money
zombies
buying
follow its
tools.
line of flight with an almost human curiosity.
Like if buying the most expensive tool was going to give them the best result.
Fire follows shortly after.
It reminds me of a friend of mine which
I think to
is a
myself,
very good shot. Really a good
few
shot.
wires disconnect.
And it can
Sparks,
take
blue and orange.
basically any
One whips
shotgun
the flower shop.
and go
More
shoot
snap
skit
in the
with
air
it
like angry snakes.
and get very good
A
results.
lip of flame crawls down the rotten wood of the telephone pole until it splinters and collapses.
Of course, if he get his own
Burning debris
gun,
showers the garden center,
he will have
Some of it
an
breaks
even
through.
better result.
and it doesn't take long for the patriotic flowers inside to crinkle and wilt under the resolve of the flames.
Yeah, you are 6 foot, so for you it's working, but I'm 5'7", so for me it's not.
Glass breaks. Smoke
And
pours out.
I could not
All the while, the
do
horde
Bolino
moves toward this chaos.
properly standing.
Flames don't crawl this time. They sprint.
I mean, I used to do that.
jumping past the
No,
wood
even when I was
backwards
doing
of
with
the
a lance, I was
The
sitting
diner is the next
because
structure to catch.
you need to be very stable.
Then the bank. A few of the dead go up in a blaze,
And then
running into the crowd.
I did get accustomed to see things
Is
close up, and their eyes was not doing it for me anymore.
town burning. The dead distracted. Abby
So
and I run
I
to
did
the
get
hotel.
into the habit of doing everything under the
There are still
microscope.
stragglers, but they are too enamored by the dancing flames consuming the
Because the
square
fact
to
is
pay us
that you
any
see
mind.
so much more that way.
The motel is about half a block from the square. We hobble up Main Street through the
No,
pools
I
of blood.
mean you speak about the handle of the hammer or the handle of
Bodies
the
people I faintly recognize,
chisel.
of people Abby whispers
I
softly
don't
to.
like,
It's
or I don't
like
care
walking
for
through a World War
wooden
II battlefield.
handle for the
There are
chisel.
not many dead, roaming or
I
otherwise, at the motel.
It absorbs
More. I can see room
the
111
shop,
where Darlene and I
which
stayed
I
the past
find
night with its curtains drawn. I pick up my pace
not
down
useful.
the corner of Main Street and break onto Second. Abby
Sometimes
grabs
I
my
was
shoulder and
using
says, "Wait," and it was
wooden handle because
a group of zombies
the
lumped
noise
up
was
behind a
annoying
row
me.
of parked cars. A bunch of guys who were probably drunk before all the shit went
But
down.
I think you get a much
Maybe
better
10 years older than
transmission
me
of
and
the heat
dressed in the Woodhaven going out attire.
between the
Blue jeans, plaid shirts,
hammer and the
trucker hats
cutting
with a
tool
favorite
if you
beer
got the
company's
steel
logo
handle.
embroidered on the front. Except blood stains their clothes like it's this summer's hottest accessory. One of the guys
Yeah, I
inside
know
has
that
got
a lot
a
of
gash
people
in his
use
chest.
wooden handle. I
Shiny
just
fist-like
don't.
organ.
You know, I was trained in
Some of
Belgium.
this
In
guy's
Belgium we use steel,
It bounces up
and
and down
I try
like a large
wood,
medallion.
but I do prefer steel.
I want to kill them too.
The thing I really like about wood is the fact that it's
We let
quiet.
them pass. As I stare at them, laboring on toward
It's one of the
flames
reasons
that
I don't
broke out,
use
turning
pneumatic
piles of
thing
ash.
because I don't care for the
I
noise.
see the
either.
curtains part slightly from the corner of my eye. Someone looks out into the street. My breath catches. Heart drops.
Good
like
for
the
you.
top of a
I
roller
think
coaster
everybody
biggest
should be
hill,
using
about to
steel,
plunge down.
hammer and chisel. Actually, no. I
would
think
shout,
it's
but Abby wraps her
people
hand
use
around my
whatever
mouth.
they want as long as the result is good. I don't think there is any problem with the tool
One
itself.
with the dead stop. The one with his heart literally on his
I
sleeve.
think
It looks toward us with gold
the only
eyes.
problem with using
A long moment passes before he turns back toward his comrades.
air assist tool, as they call it,
Sorry, I
is
say.
the fact that it's actually too easy to cut something in the beginning.
Once
See,
the
when
group
you
of dead
engrave
is
with,
completely
or when
out of
you
sight,
learn with hammer and
cross the
chisel,
parking lot and go to the door. My heart
it takes a
pounding
while
fast.
to do it.
I
I mean,
knock
to do it
once,
properly.
softly.
And I don't think that
I whisper.
being painful will make it better.
No light escapes the room.
But since it takes you so
Instead,
long to actually
a
master
flashlight metal
the
pokes out.
chisel and
I stare
hammer,
down the barrel of a gun.
in the same time you learn to draw, and you learn to draw scroll or draw whatever you
Now
are
the roller
drawing.
coaster I felt like I was on has derailed.
So basically,
all
your
for
ability to
nothing.
draw stuff and your
I
ability
didn't think my heart could break any more than it
to
already has,
master
but it does.
the tool
It
go
can't be
hand in
Darlene
hand, and
because,
they
as
go
far as I
both
know,
fairly slowly.
Darlene did not
So
have one of these.
when you are ready for scroll or something a little more
It's
complicated,
taken, buddy. A gruff voice says from under the
your
cover of the
ability
shadows.
with the tool
The barrel of the gun pushes out
has
farther.
improved
It's a magnum,
sufficiently
something
for you
Clint
to
Eastwood
be
would carry
able
around with him in Dirty Harry.
to engrave what you draw.
Darlene. I'm looking for
I
Darlene.
think one of the
I say,
reasons people
and I
stay
don't know how I speak.
at the level they are
Because this
doing
wouldn't be the first time I'm
is
staring down the
because
wrong end of a gun. Maybe because I've seen the dead
it's
rise.
so tempting
Maybe because
once you
I've done
can
my
take a
fair
straight
share
line
of
or
killing.
cut a curve or
Both dead and
whatever
alive.
to go much faster.
It's
That's
time
what
for
your
me to be
ability at
judged.
drawing the thing is. That's why people are using
Maybe
templates.
I really am a
In
cheat.
Belgium, when I was there, it would not occur to anyone to use a template.
Abby tries to grab
Not
my
because
shirt sleeve.
it's cheating, but because it's boring. I mean, if you are going to copy or to reproduce the work which was done by someone else, why do you bother doing it yourself?
Two packed suitcases on the bed Darlene and I made love on no less than a day ago. The sheets are still half splayed out on the shag carpet.
In Belgium,
Smell of cherry.
even the crappiest engraver is drawing whatever is engraving.
It takes me a moment to realize who the man is that stands in front of me. But it takes me almost no time at all to realize who the woman sitting in the chair on the
I
far
think
side with her
one of
knees
the
drawn up into her chest is.
interesting stuff about engraving is that it's creative. There is no creativity when you just copy stuff which from created by someone else.
And at one point in my childhood, arch
I mean,
nemesis,
it's a little like if you were
my body
pretending
begins
to
shake.
write a book by
The steady
copying
vibrations of a rocket
someone
about
else
to explode.
writing.
I shoved past him. Oh
I mean,
my
that's the
God,
way I
I
see
can't
it.
believe it, I say. Darlene's in my arms in less than 3 seconds.
The purpose of engraving is not to remove metal.
Tears roll down her cheeks, dampening my face. Her body shudders with sobs, happy sobs. I knew you wouldn't let them get you. I knew it, she says, almost blubbering. I hold her for just a moment longer. I never want to let her go. Never again. Shh, Norman says. Get in, get in. Why did you have to try out the gym? Why? Why? Darlene says. She's bawling now, hitting me in the chest with her barely clenched fists. It hurts. The physical toll of my journey catching up with me. But I don't care. She could shoot me, and I'd die happy. I kept her safe for you, little bro, Norman says in a hushed whisper. He locks the deadbolt, then goes to look out the window. Jesus, what did you guys do?
Yeah, you're right, yeah. I
Is that
mean,
you
hammer
shooting
and
those
chisel
freaks?
with a
Where's the
steel
gun?
handle
We
is
need all the
noisy.
firepower we can get right now. Fireworks, I say. Never keeping my eyes up, Darlene.
But at least to me, they seem to be more efficient.
Thought they'd be a distraction, but wound up burning the whole town down. After a pause, I continue. It needed to be burnt down. There's iron in my voice. Confidence I've never heard before. Just like I'd imagined Johnny Deadslayer to sound in my novel. Norman laughs, causing me to look at him. It's the laugh he used to use whenever he blamed something on me when we were kids. No one talks for a moment, until Abby breaks the silence. Hi, I'm Abby, by the way, she says from near the bed. Her shoulders slump and her eyelids sag, but she waves. I think she may fall into the bed and sleep for a solid 8 to 10 hours. I've heard a lot about you, Darlene. Darlene smiles. I couldn't have done it without Abby, I say. Nice to see you, Darlene says, then turns back to me. You should have never gone. We should have never come here. The words come out of her mouth like lines from a script she's practiced constantly. She's been saying that all night, Norman says. Good thing you came along. I was this close from dragging her out of here once I saw the fire. I stand up, squaring up with my older brother. He's got a few inches on me, and a few more pounds, not to mention the magnum. But I don't let that scare me. Abby and Darlene look on like people who are about to witness something terrible. I've described my older brother's brutality to Darlene many times. She knows as well as I how I've always wanted to punch him in the face. How I've always wanted to retaliate for what he did to our family by leaving so many years ago. But I don't hit him. I stick out my hand. He looks down at it like it's an alien limb. Maybe he was expecting a punch too. After a moment, he smiles and takes it. We shake. I make sure it's a firm shake. What a military man can be proud of. Wow, Norman says.
Oh, the pneumatic, yeah, I agree with that. I
Thank you,
I tried once. I bought years ago.
So much.
What did I buy? A Gravermeister, I
It
think
was
it was called.
We are family
I
after
bought
all,
it,
right?
I don't know,
Right. I agree.
in the
The
afternoon
handshake turns into a hug.
from a
One
friend of mine.
overdue
You had
by
two
many
of them.
years.
And
Now it's my turn to cry.
I did bring it back to my
Here's
friend
my older brother. Him protecting Darlene, the love of my life,
in the morning.
erases all he's ever done to hurt me. It only took
I
forever.
think that stuff is
But Norman Jupiter has
so
finally
noisy
done right by me.
that it's unbearable. But it's very likely that the new stuff
You look like you can handle
are
this
much
better than I
quieter.
can. He looks me up and down.
I mean, when I hear
Probably
people
letting the blood and guts and dirt take
on
place.
video or stuff like that, it doesn't seem to
You've
be all that
been on the
noisy, but
battlefield. This mission
I don't
needs
know,
an
obviously, I
experienced
don't
soldier.
use it, so.
Think you can handle that?
Good night, Chris. Take care of yourself.
This is like a passing of the torch.
I will finish that thing
Older
tomorrow,
brother
most
finally
likely.
respects little
So,
brother.
if you come back
What a
tomorrow,
moment.
you may see it
I can handle it, I say.
a little more complete.
Norman smiles, a genuine smile I've not seen on his face in a long, long time.
Take care, Chris.
Good, he says. Because you're gonna leave us out of this fucking hellhole town. I look over my
I
shoulder
do?
with the cold iron in my hand. Abby and Darlene have scooted closer together.
Why don't
They're
I?
so starkly different. Abby with her mess of brown hair and youthful face. The little sister I never had. Darlene with her ringlets of blonde and those deep emerald pools for her eyes. The fear is no longer plastered on our faces. Darlene nods to me, a faint smile on her lips. How, I say, turning back to Norman. How do we get out of here?
Yeah.
Light from the fire cuts through the curtains. Smoke has been steadily drifting under the door, filling the room up with an acrid smell and a taste of destruction. The moans and groans of the dead rise to double-dying shrieks of alarm. I didn't park far, he says. I had to leave the Jeep on Front Street because of the festival. But if they're all in the square like it sounds, we shouldn't have too much trouble getting there. It won't be any trouble if you're leading us. We shouldn't have any trouble as long as you don't let him drive, Abby says, smiling. Then she leans closer to Darlene and whispers, "Don't ask," as if they've known each other all their lives. Clock's running, Norman says. I exhale a deep breath, walk over to Darlene, and kiss her more fiercely than I ever have. Then I'm at the door, twisting the deadbolt. The group, Darlene, Abby, and Norman, line up behind me. Abby and Darlene each carry a suitcase. Norman has his keys in hand. I open the door. A wave of heat and smoke wash over us. The group of the dead who almost heard me shout for Darlene earlier must not have liked the fire, because they shamble back the way they came. It doesn't matter though. The fire is bigger than it has ever been. The flower shop is nothing but ashes. The barn door diner will be next to nothing by the time we get to the car. Blackened bodies lay on the sidewalk, their hands outstretching in a last-ditch effort to claw away from the flames which consume them. They are indistinguishable save for the shapes of their jaws and the length of their bodies. The small patch of trees in the square has lost most of their leaves, letting us see that the fire has no intention of stopping. The night air glows a blood red. Over there, Norman shouts, stifling a cough. I cut through the motel's parking lot. My eyes squint in an attempt to shield them from the smoke. Darlene's right hand is latched to my elastic waistband. Abby to hers with Norman straggling behind. We are almost a human chain, stronger together. The dead, untouched by the flames, see us through the haze of smoke, their eyes glinting yellow like gold coins in the sun, and speed up their ragged pace. I raise the magnum and let loose 3 shots which are loud enough to topple over the rest of the town. One takes a bullet to the chest. It blows a hole about a foot in diameter in his middle. I can see the charred front of a building right through him. The other shots take off the tops of their heads. The one with his heart in his sleeve falls to his knees a few inches shorter than he was a half second ago, and slaps the sidewalk wetly. That was Billy Francona, Norman shouts. I barely hear him over the roar of the flames and the ringing in my ears. Not anymore, I shout back. My shooting arm vibrates with pain. The gun is a hell of a kick. When I see the flashing taillights of Norm's Jeep, I launch Darlene and Abby forward. Go, get to the car. I'll cover you guys. Another building falls in on itself, burying the 3 dead I just shot, and giving me a clear view of the hill which Abby and I came down from. Beyond that is the top of the Woodhaven Recreation Center. I see the faint outlines of the flags whipping in the wind. I hope the fire doesn't stop until it reaches there too. I hope the bodies of Isaiah, Earl, Miss Fox, Ryan, and even Pat are cremated, their ashes scattered in the wind. I hope they rest in peace. Norm passes me, grabbing hold of my sleeve as he goes by. I shrug him off. The chaos is almost picture perfect. Something so beautiful, yet so sad. I can't stop looking at what I've done. Come on, Darlene shouts. I don't want to lose you again. That snaps me out of it, and I head to the car. Norm is in the driver's seat, Abby in the front, Darlene in the back, the door still open. The dark road ahead of us is empty except for a few straggling shadows on the horizon. Undoubtedly more of the dead drawn out by the allure of bright flames. Where are we going? Norm says. He turns the key in the ignition and the Jeep hums the light. Anywhere but here, Abby says. We'll go through Indiana. It's where I live. Then we'll hit Chicago. See if this thing has hit the whole country yet, he says. I barely hear them because I'm staring at the town square again, watching the flames dance and consume the buildings and the people I once knew. Where I grew up is now gone. All that's left is a graveyard of bones, rotting flesh, and ashes. Darlene tucks in my sleeve. Come on, she says, a hint of panic in her voice. I crawl into the car, close the door, and she wraps her arms around me. As the Jeep lurches forward, I look out the back window and smile. What our future holds, I don't know. But I do know I am with my family, and we have survived. For now. This concludes Dead Haven by Flint Maxwell, narrated by Neil Helligers, member of SAG-AFTRA. Copyright 2017 by Flint Maxwell. This unabridged audiobook is published by arrangement with Flint Maxwell, care of Hirschman Rights Management, LLC, and was produced in the year 2017 by Cantor Media Incorporated, a division of Recorded Books, which holds the copyright thereto. Please visit Tantor.com for more information on our growing library of unabridged audiobooks and take advantage
Okay.
of special offers. Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Dead Hope, a zombie novel by Flint Maxwell, narrated by Neil Helligers. People say that where there's life, there's hope, and I have no quarrel with that. But I also believe the reverse. There is hope, therefore I live. Stephen King, The Bible. 1. It's been 6 months since we left Woodhaven, and I don't want to remember any of it. The chaos, the dead friends, the enemies, or the pain. But I know I'll never forget. Never truly forget. Every part of this crumbling world is a reminder. We haven't stopped traveling. Haven't stopped searching for a new home. It's been 3 days since we've seen a working car. We sleep in Norm's Jeep. Back seats down. No blanket, no pillow besides our hands. One of us keeps watch. Norm's big gun or the Glock I pulled off a dead police officer from a town called Paris nearby. Those not infected by this disease have taken to looting, running, and hiding. My group is no different. We do what we have to do to survive. We have to. I am on watch this morning. The sun rises in a bloody red haze. There's a fog outside the window, almost no visibility. It's as thick as the darkness that came before it. But I'm not as scared as I used to be on these watches. Mainly, I'm tired. Mainly, I'm fed up. Fed up because the way we live is not life. I'm tired of having to watch my back, having to make sure no one does anything stupid. I'm tired of scavenging for my food like a caveman. I'm tired, just too damn tired. We are parked off some country road in a field, never too far from the pavement. Most of the dead are not out here. Mostly they are in the big cities, like Indianapolis and Chicago. Each day we have a goal, something small like get food, find gas, find medicine, find shelter. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we succeed. The long-term goal has been to find Eden. We're so close. I just hope Eden is not a myth. I hope it's real. For all of our sakes. I take a few deep breaths to calm myself. Behind me, the light snores of Abby, Darlene, and Norm drone on intermittently. That in itself is calming, knowing my friends and my family are still alive. We first heard of Eden outside of Chicago, from a man who signed his death certificate not long before we stumbled upon him. He had been shot in the gut and left for the crows. But I think the zombies would have gotten to him first if we hadn't. Norm slowed the Jeep to a crawl and we saw his signal. In the empty road, painted in blood red was the word help. There was a trail from the end to the P, and at the end of the trail lay the man named Richard. His face was swollen, black and blue. He'd been shot twice, once in the stomach and once in the shoulder. His wounds were already festering, the flies and the maggots surely not far off. What happened? I asked him. He didn't ask for help. He didn't cry or scream for God. He just smiled. The end happened. It came fast, too. Took society with it. All sense of right and wrong. The man spoke true. It did come fast. Almost in the blink of an eye. There's an old saying, your life can turn on a dime. I never fully understood that saying until I watched our society fall. It toppled over like dominoes. Every major city ravaged and ransacked. Too fucked for the government to implement quarantines or blockades. I remember hearing about Los Angeles. How it was so overrun they had to drop bombs in the city. Then it was DC, New York, Dallas, everywhere. So yeah, the end happened all right. But that's not what we wanted to know. What happened to you? Norm asked. Darlene buried her face into my shoulder. Abby stood as still as a deer about to be mowed down by a semi. Couple young men like yourself took what I had, shot me, left me for dead. That's the short of it. Said they were going to a place called Eden. Place where it's safe. I laughed at them. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But sometimes an old man can't help himself. Nowhere is safe. He pulled his shirt up, completely soaked through with blood, and showed me his wounds. I remember gagging. Little did they know they did me a favor, Richard said. I remember getting a bitter taste in my mouth. Because there is always hope. Even if the world has gone to shit, there is still hope. Now, my hope is dwindling. Norm and I took Abby and Darlene aside, and Darlene asked if there was any way to help him. I knew there wasn't. The only way to help him was to put him down. Put him out of his misery, forget about it, and move on. But I couldn't say it. Luckily, Norm could. He patted the magnum on his hip. Yeah, darling. No, Darlene said. We can't do that. We aren't murderers. Would you call a vet who sticks a death needle into a sick dog a murderer? Darlene didn't answer, but eyed my older brother as if she hated him. Yeah, thought not, Norm said. Looked at me, then to Abby. All settled then? You can't, Darlene shouted. I put my hand on her arm and gave her a solemn nod. It'd be worse of us to just leave him here, Darlene. He'd suffer. We can't let him suffer, I said. Always the brains of the family, Norm said. Guess it's settled. He turned to head back to the side of the road.
Okay, guys, I'm going to have something to eat now.
Wait, I said.
And then I will start to do the undercutting. I will get back online when I'm done with the undercutting, because it's not very interesting.
All right, little brother.
So,
He handed me the magnum.
see you later.
I took it, and I swear it
How
never
do I
felt
close
heavier
that
than it
thing?
did in that moment. The deaths before all of this, those had been justified.
It was big
That
and red.
Hubert
How
was
can
a
I
murderer.
possibly find it?
His son was a
Bye
zombie.
for now.
This? Well, this was a first step into a very dark world. I went over to Richard.